Well, everyone, it's time for us to go and take a look at the Google Pixel 7 and compare it against the Google Pixel 8a and see which particular phone is a better one for you. Is a 2-year-old flagship better than the current mid-tier phone? Well, let's go and see. Now, if you want to pick up these phones or some other phones I would recommend buying this year, links will be down in the description. You can get them from there and you can help support the channel at the same time. Now, starting off with the outside of both these particular phones, you can see they're both designed a little bit differently. The Pixel 8a has this like curved design kind of to the edges. The Pixel 7 was like this kind of like rectangular design, which kind of looked good still for some people. On the front of the Google Pixel 7, you are basically getting a 6.3-inch AMOLED display. And it was a good panel. It's slightly bigger than the Pixel 8a's. You have these, kind of sharp edges a little bit to the side, which makes the phone feel pretty good. It makes it look pretty unique, almost like the Pixel 6. You can see we have the hole punch display here. This one did have a 90 Hz panel though, which back then, in 2022 wasn't terrible. 1400 nits of brightness as well. It's definitely not a bad panel, but it's crazy because this phone was the flagship of 2022. But if you look at the mid-tier phone like the Pixel 8a, there's been some improvements here, even just going from the flagship to the mid-tier. So, still a good-looking phone, still a good-feeling phone. With the Pixel 8a, on the other hand, you are getting a 6.1-inch OLED display. So this thing is an OLED display. It still looks great. I think these panels look really, really good and sharp. The thing with this particular panel, though, they're both 1080p, but this panel gives you 2000 nits of brightness. So the Pixel 8a is automatically going to be giving you an overall better display from what I'm understanding. So this in and of itself is a very, very big thing to keep in mind. On top of that, with the Pixel 8a, you're also going to be getting a 120 Hz display on this phone. So we are now going from a 90 Hz on the Pixel 7 to a 120 Hz on the Pixel 8a. So this in and of itself, again, is another very big thing, and if I'm going from one phone to the other, I like the fact that my Pixel 8a is going to be giving me a better display overall. Although it's smaller, it's probably going to be better, so that's one thing to keep in mind there. Now from the sides, you can kind of see what else is going on. We have kind of like the same type of styling to it. There's not really too many differences here. Both have SIM card trays right there. On the top, microphones. On the bottom, USB Type-C ports here as well. So some really interesting stuff, lots of overlap here. There's not really too many differences here. You're getting the speakers and everything. So there's still a lot of good stuff going on for both these phones. On the back side, you can see they look identical, but there's some differences here. So the Pixel 8a, like I said, you're going to be getting these curved sides at the very top. The Pixel 7 is going to be kind of flat. Dual camera setups, there's a slight difference here though. The Pixel 7 is going to be giving you this glass back on the back of this phone, where the Pixel 8a is going to be giving you this frosted plastic back. But I will tell you, the frosted plastic back still feels pretty good. I like the way it feels. It's different than the Pixel 7a's, and different than the Pixel 7. But I like the way in the design of the Pixel 8a. I think it feels very, very nice for a plastic back. I think the Pixel 7 probably still feels more premium, but there's something about the Pixel 8a that I actually like a lot. So they both have wireless charging. Actually, the Pixel 7 has reverse wireless charging as well, which is really nice. Unfortunately, the Pixel 8a does not have any reverse wireless charging, but beyond that, I would say from that side, that kind of covers it up there. Now, from the software experience side, this is going to be another slight difference here as well, because both of them are going to be giving you a little bit of a different experience. With the Google Pixel 7, you're going to be getting, first of all, still a good phone that's going to be lasting quite a bit of time. The Pixel 7 is probably going to give you like another 3 years of software support, like 3 more, Android updates. So it's probably going to be getting Android, it's getting 15, maybe Android 16 and 17, maybe it'll end with, or maybe it'll stop at Android 16. So it's another 2 to 3 years of software support. Whereas on the Pixel 8a, Google said it's going to be lasting basically just as long as the Google Pixel 8. So that basically means this phone's going to last basically like another 6 years of software updates, which is pretty crazy. So that's software and security updates. So that's going to be something that's going to be very, very crazy. I'm going to keep my eye on it though. I'm going to see what ends up happening here with this particular phone for the next couple of years. But that in and of itself is another very, very crazy thing going on for this particular phone when it comes down to it. Now let's go and do speed comparison between both these phones. The Google Pixel 8a has that Google Tensor G3 chipset inside with 8GB of RAM, but the Google Pixel 7 has that Tensor G2 chipset inside with 8GB of RAM as well. So let's go and see which one's the faster phone between both. Okay, there we go. Both apps are all cleared out in the background, so let's get into it. Phone calls 3, 2, 1. Okay, let's go and do messages 3, 2, 1. Okay, about the same thing too, not too many differences there. Hopping on both these, let's go and get into camera 3, 2, 1. Okay, perfect. Let's go and take a photo 3, 2, 1. And let's see which one's the faster one. My Pixel 7 actually is slightly faster there. Let's go and open up their Play Stores 3, 2, 1. The Pixel 8a was like very fast there. I've noticed that scrolling on the Pixel 8a can sometimes be a little glitchy. I'm not really too sure what's up with that. Let's go and hop out of these two. Let's go and open up some of these third-party applications. Temple Run 2, 3, 2, 1. And I'm not really too sure which one's going to be faster here. Okay, so this one did get into pop-up. I kind of clicked out of it as fast as I could. I don't know why we're getting these many pop-ups here. It's very annoying. There wouldn't have been this big of a difference though, but I do think the Pixel 8a probably would have been the faster one. But again, I don't think it would have been this big of a difference. There would have been just a slight difference, but not this big of a one as far as we can tell. So let's go and hop out of these two. Let's go and get into another one. Let's try Temple Run 3, 2, 1. I'm hoping there's no more pop-ups that come up, but again, I don't really control that. So we'll just kind of see what ends up happening here. So okay, they're both like almost identical here as well. So there's like very slight differences here. And I think the Pixel 8a was like slightly faster. Let's try thank you 3, 2, 1. And again, the Pixel 8a just slightly faster. Not really seeing like big differences. Let's go and try Subway Surfers 3, 2, 1. But so far, it's looking like the Pixel 8a is going to be faster. And that basically was a faster phone. So I think when you test some of these bigger games, not that saying this game is big, but when you start testing some of these bigger type of games, you might start seeing that there's going to be bigger differences here for the most part. And that's kind of what ends up happening for the most part as well. So just another one of those things to keep in mind here. So I will definitely tell you between both these devices, there's not one that's like a crazy amount better than the other one. But I would probably say that the Pixel 8a is probably going to be the faster phone when it comes down to it. The same amount of RAM, but the faster phone is probably going to be for the Pixel 8a when it comes down to it. So from that side, that kind of covers it up there as well. Now from the camera side, you are getting a dual camera setup on both these particular phones, which I think is beautiful. I love having these dual camera setups, and they look very nice for the most part. And that is something that's very cool when you're going through and getting one of these phones, that these cameras are going to be great. They're dual camera setups, but there's slight differences here. With the Pixel 8a, you're getting a higher megapixel count, 64 megapixels versus 50 megapixels for their wide-angle lenses. They both have ultra-wide cameras as well. The front side, you're also getting a high megapixel count on the front of the Pixel 8a. So the Pixel 7, you can do 4K at 60 on the front and the back of these particular phones, which is nice. The Pixel 8a, you can only do 4K at 30 on the back, or 4K at 30 on the front, which is still fine. You're getting zooming in capability, which is nice. Basically the same type of zooming in and zooming out for the most part, except this one's 0.7x as far as I can tell. You're still getting lots of photo and video modes, portrait mode, long exposure mode, action, blur, panorama mode, photosphere. There's still a lot of good stuff to appreciate about this particular camera, and it is a very good camera when it comes down to it. I'd probably say the Pixel 8a might be better in some ways, but like you're getting some cooler features, like the features that you're getting some features that Google had kind of threw in inside of this phone, which was actually really nice. So I do think that in and of itself was a super cool thing going on here. But I will tell you that, for the most part, if I'm going through and buying a certain phone, I definitely do think that this particular device is very nice and beautiful. But I definitely do say that the Pixel 7 might be the better one for some people out there. So I definitely do think when it comes down to both these devices, I don't think there's one that's like the best one between each one. I definitely do think that the Pixel 8a is a great phone. And I think the Pixel 7 is a great phone. The price tag between these, the Pixel 7 is like $200 cheaper than a brand new Pixel 8a in the used market. But I wouldn't even recommend buying either one of these phones when you can buy a Google Pixel 8 for around the same price as the Pixel 8a. So that's kind of how I feel about that. I'd rather just buy one of these phones than this phone when it comes down to it. So from that side, that's kind of how I see these two phones kind of holding up as of right now. If you have any other thoughts or questions, let me know in the comment section below. Hit the like button, that would mean so much, but definitely hit that subscribe button. More importantly than everything else, I love every single one of you guys. Hopefully I'll catch you guys in the next video. Peace out till then.